The big news today is that Vladimir Putin has challenged Joe Biden to a debate, a live debate, after Biden called him a killer. Biden spoke out about the Russian president in an ABC News interview this week. ABC News reports, quote, "I've just thought of this now," Putin told a Russian state television reporter. "I want to propose to President Biden to continue our discussion, but on the condition that we do it basically live, as it's called, without any delays and directly in an open, direct discussion. It seems to me that would be interesting for the people of Russia and for the people of the United States." They say Putin's invitation seems to amount to a challenge to Biden to a live televised debate following a day of diplomatic uproar that began when Biden said he thought Putin was a killer in an interview with ABC News' George Stephanopoulos. Russia recalled its ambassador to the U.S. in response to the remark. Now, I think Vladimir Putin's a killer.
Well, I think Vladimir Putin thinks Vladimir Putin's a killer.
I think he's proud to be a killer.
I know. Do you think he was like, oh, man, he called me a killer? Can you believe that? He called the ambassador home to high-five him. I mean, the guy was a KGB colonel.
Yeah.
All right. He's not Mr. Rogers.
He was like watching TV, and then when Biden said it's like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he like points at the TV, and then like, you know, his KGB buddies are like, yeah. They're like, dude, the president just shouted you out. And he's
Boom!
like, yeah. And then now he wants the debate because he wants Biden to say it more.
Oh, I know. You called me killer. Thank you.
Not even that. It's like Biden calling him a killer is good for Vladimir Putin. It makes him look strong. It makes him look, dangerous.
Look, I was old school Cold War. I was literally in the Cold War in the Army. And I learned a lot about how to fight Russians and everything. I kind of don't like the Russians. Do like the Ukrainians. Spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, Ukraine's cool.
But Ukraine is cool.
Yeah.
Russia is not the threat it used to be. It is a threat. It is not a pure competitor. It's got a lot. It's like a midget with a strong right arm.
Do you remember when Obama called them a regional power?
They're not quite a regional power, but they're not quite the superpower that they were because they can't project force the way they did. They do have nuclear weapons. But look, if you want a real threat, it's China. And if you don't want to talk about China, you talk about anything else.
Yeah.
Including Russia. We're extremists!
Yeah, so have you ever heard of China Uncensored?
I have not heard of China
They're
Uncensored.
a big YouTube channel. They talk about China and things that are going on there. And they mentioned that, when Biden was transitioning, some of the people were fairly pro-China, speaking about how it was good, that jobs were going there. There was a certain diplomatic incident, I suppose, where these guys were deferential to China. And there's fears that as, China's taken Hong Kong already.
Yes.
They're imprisoning the Uyghur Muslims. They want Taiwan.
And they will take Taiwan.
And
when they are
Joe
good and ready.
Biden will not do anything to stop them.
Joe Biden's going to have a decision point when they move on Taiwan. First of all, they war game it. They know how to do it. And I'm not talking about anything outside of open source stuff. You can read this stuff anywhere. There are war games recently revealed where for years Americans have been, we practice war games and we lose against China. And China's got a lot of advantages when you look at Taiwan. Taiwan's very close. Taiwan's very far from us. We have to put ourselves on a few bases, which are easy to hit, easy to target, small concentrated areas. We also have very few ships compared to what we used to. We used to have, a 600 ship Navy with Ronald Reagan, I believe. We're now under 300.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Are there a lot of submarines that we don't know about?
There is nothing people don't know about. You can't, secretly build a submarine because it's like $10 billion. And they know where our submarine bases are, or where we manufacture submarines, so you take satellite pictures of
What if they have a subterranean manufacturing plant? Moving all the materials in would notice.
I think it's kind of hard to hide a ship. You can hide out. Submarines can hide out at sea, obviously, but they have to come in and they have to restock and refit.
Right.
So I think we know the numbers. The problem is the numbers are growing for the Chinese. The Chinese are serious military. You don't find them doing a 60-day stand down for the extremist boogeymen who don't exist. Look, I spent 27 years in the military. Okay, I didn't meet any white supremacists. I didn't meet any extremists. I met people who wanted to do their job. And
well, then what you're basically telling our audience is one of two things. Either you didn't look hard enough or you're lying to protect them. Because that's the only
possible.
Joe Biden says, Okay, we got to weed out these extremists.
Okay.
So what's going on, huh? Which one is it?
Well, yeah. Man, checkmate.
Good point.
No, it's a lot easier to talk about, mythical extremists.
They're claiming the Gadsden flag was a sign of extremism. Like some guy had on his Facebook profile the Gadsden flag, and so he got removed from D.C., guard duty or whatever. It's the symbol of the American Revolution. Like, don't some states have that as their state flag or something on their license plates?
Maybe the American Revolution is going to be branded extremist.
I wouldn't be surprised. They already got the 1619 Project claiming that the real founding of this country was 1619.
Oh.
So actually, they've already said the American Revolution was racist. They've said that it was a bunch of racist white landowners trying to preserve their slaveocracy.
It's really weird how the beneficiaries of all this alleged supremacy stuff are also the very same people promoting it.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's all affluent establishment types.
Yep.
And of course, the establishment has changed. It's no longer like, the guy who has the Buick dealership in town.
Yeah.
Instead, it's the professor of gender studies.
Did you hear about the elephant walk that we did in Guam this past year?
I know we did one.
And we were treated, right?
Oh, really?
We were treated because I guess Trump or somebody ordered that we were going to do a show of force. Long story short, my understanding, China sent a strike force through the Strait of Taiwan or whatever,
right.
And this was a show of force.
Uh-huh.
The U.S. responded with what's called an elephant walk, where we get bombers and fighters, and they start going around the runways in Guam, and then they retreated because the U.S. was advised China could blow up that base with a snap of a finger, and our planes would be able to get off the ground.
It is a problem that the Chinese have decided to pursue an asymmetrical offensive. They find our weaknesses. The thing is, we have a limited number of bases, okay, on land. So you just target everything there. We have a problem. They've got all of China, and they have mobile missiles.
Yeah.
So if where's the missile? I don't know. It's on Chinese Highway 1 going up and down the coast.
I mean, I think this is why Joe Biden calling out Putin has been nothing but good for Putin. I think the whole Russia narrative has been nothing but good for for Russia. It projects America saying Russia is the greatest threat, and then they can use that as to puff themselves up, make them seem bigger than they really are.
It's kind of a sugar high. I mean, they kind of know, that most half our population's going to die at 57 of vodka poisoning because they make it in the radiator of a ZIL truck, and.
Do they really do that, or are you just being a jerk?
I'm being a jerk, but you
never know, man. I mean,
dude, if you spend time over there, I spent time in Ukraine, not Russia. But I've
seen them.
Those dudes,
right?
Yeah, man, you don't want to drink the stuff they hand you in.
Oh no, I was gonna say they figure stuff out.
They do.
They're smart.
Yeah, well, when you've got limited resources because of communism,
oh yeah,
they figure out how to make vodka in a radiator.
Oh my gosh, the thing is, and we're going to see that more here. The thing is, working overseas, and I worked overseas in Kosovo primarily among the Albanians, and these guys, they were just no law. They were smuggling and scamming because they had to. For 1,000 years, other people had conquered them and oppressed them, so there was no law and order. Right? These are not guys who stop at the stop sign at 3 a.m. in the morning when they're out driving. Americans will, because we're used to law and order. We're used to if somebody breaches a contract, I'll go to court, and my contract will get enforced. If somebody hits me with a bat, a cop will arrest them. We can't take that for granted, so we act as if there's law. Russians never did that because there wasn't. It was all arbitrary.
Yeah.
The Albanians didn't in Kosovo until we started putting things into place there. And I think that's one of the things we're losing here as people lose the ability to appeal to institutions to protect them, whether it's the Department of Justice, the news media. Remember, the news media should be out there saying, hey, look at these towns ruined because, jobs are getting shipped off to China. But they won't do that because that makes Democrats look bad.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/TimcastIRL, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., where you can leave comments and super chat, and we actually will read your comments on the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you want exclusive members-only content, segments you can't get anywhere else, Go to timcast.com, become a member, and we even have full bonus episodes. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.